So I figured it out. The other day we were talking about these different game sticks that I received and was a little confused on what they were. But I found out that this one, the Game Stick Controller Gamepad 3D Games Y6 Linux system, professional gaming system, whatever the hell you want to call this thing, this was sent to me by Go Game Geek for purpose of review. And this is actually, I hate to say the word, Powkiddy. This is the Powkiddy Y6. What the heck, man? I don't, like, this is part of the confusion with a lot of these products that these companies claim that they make, is when you get the box, like, their name isn't on it. It's just a very generic thing that looks like something you would find in the swap meet, maybe, you know, Pick and Save or something, right? So this is the one with the caveat. It's got a choking hazard here. If you're a little kid under 3 years old, you might suffocate, so use under adult supervision, please. And then also, I mean, if you're under 3, got to have an adult, but if you're also under 14, you got to be accompanied by an adult. Just the way it goes, man. No babies, no children's. The company isn't, and why do they say this? The company is committed to improving product quality. Constantly launching updates and products are subject to actual products. What? The image is only a reference. Products are subject to actual products. I think I've read that on a few devices in the past, different products. Reminder, the device has no built-in game program. Users need to install them by themselves. Copyright issue caused by the program has nothing to do with our company. But from what I saw, this thing has like 10,000 games on it. So what the hell are they talking about? Made in China, of course. So there it is, the Game Stick. Let's find out what we're working with here. Look at that. It looks like a little controller, like a little handheld, but it's not. It's a, bam! A freaking HDMI dongle that you plug in the back of your TV. And I do believe this is a 128 gigabyte build, little game system SD card. But okay, this one looks a little nicer than the other one that I took a look at the other day. But there you go. We got power. We do have to plug this into power. Let's see what else we got. A dongle, which I'm sure is for the controllers. So one dongle, bam. Wait, am I breaking this? No, it just doesn't, barely wants to get in there. Okay. And then we have two white. Even though this kind of, to me, almost looked silver, but that's okay. Maybe a pearlescent, like this is, I don't know, just a white PlayStation 2 controller. It's got the little switch on the bottom. Same as plenty of them. Takes two AAAs, I believe. Ow, yeah, 2 AAAs. We'll be ready for it. So we get 2 of those. And then we get an HDMI extender, power supply, and a user guide. Advertising God of War. Come on now. I don't know the specs on this little thing, but I have my doubts that will run. But we're going to plug this thing in and test it out. So we're all powered on, and this thing is quite a bit more ambitious than the previous stick that we tested out. We've got PSP on here, Dreamcast, Naomi, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1. The list goes on, and I've scrolled through quite a bit of this so far, and I haven't really seen too much in the way of duplicates. Like, there are some ROM hacks, some translations and stuff like that. Famicom Disk System, that is a pleasant surprise for sure. Holy crap. 32X is on here. Master System, MSX, Atari Lynx, Famicom, Game Boy, the non-color Neo Geo Pocket, SG-1000, Vectrix. There's a ton of stuff on here, so let's go ahead and test some of these more demanding games out, and maybe some of the lesser demanding games, because the previous stick that we tested couldn't even run Sega Genesis games. Holy crap. Okay, we're playing some PSP here, and I'm honestly a little shocked. I don't know how this is running so damn well on a device like this. This is just ridiculous. A very weird game to play, though, with the control scheme. But this is rather impressive. You have to have that aim assist on these PSP games, man. So difficult to play without 2 analog sticks.
Things are
Okay, a little fight night on the PSP. This is, I don't know why, but I'm like shocked. How does this thing play PSP games? This little ass dongle. What the hell, dude? PSP struggles on so many devices. Hey, every once in a while we got to be shocked and surprised in a good way. Okay, so some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast, and the game seems to be running pretty damn good, but there's no display options, so we are stretched the hell out here. If your TV supports, you know, changing it down to 4:3, then great, but if not, it's going to be stretched. But I'm surprised. This little tiny dongle's playing these systems fairly well. There's more expensive things I've tested out there that have struggled. I mean, I still say it's better to build your own, but hey, at least we're seeing some decent performance for once on something like this, which, you know, a cheap little dongle. I noticed the audio's a little off, a little crinkly, a little slow here and there. So yeah, I think it's going to be a mixed bag, definitely, with Naomi and Dreamcast, depending on what you're playing and how demanding it is. Like this, you know, you got a little bit of graphics glitches in the background there, which is kind of typical on some of these systems, these setups, and the game's running kind of slow. Would you look at this? Nintendo DS is playing extremely well on here. I dig this, man. This is cool. So with Nintendo DS, you would use like the analog stick for the touchscreen, and then click in to tap. You could use the top buttons and the push in on the left stick to change your screen orientation. Pretty cool. So a little Nintendo 64 Mario Kart, and so far my main complaint is just you don't have visual options accessible to be able to, you know, change the aspect ratio and stuff like that. But this is interesting. Okay, it just crashed. Never mind. Never mind. Wow, you saw that. So here we go. I didn't see Sonic 2 on here, but I did boot up Sonic and Knuckles. It has a smoothing effect going on. Look at Sonic. I really don't like the way that looks. The smoothing. Some people do. That's fine, but I just wish we had the option to turn that kind of stuff on or off. Aspect ratio and whatnot. But hey, looks like our older stuff is going to run just fine. I'm going to go back to Nintendo 64 and see if another game will work, or if it's just going to crash in like 10 seconds into a game. So Ridge Racer just backed right out the second I got to the title screen to select my mode. So yeah, Nintendo 64 is not looking good here for some reason. I'm going to try Mario Kart again. I did notice, like, I don't know why, but it looks like the first letter in a lot of these games is missing. Why? I don't know. All right, let's see if this crashes after a few seconds. So far, so good, but maybe just that first track, which you're going to want to play eventually anyway, maybe that one makes the game crash. Let me try it again. Oh, it just can't handle that first track, I guess. So there you go. There's my video on the Powkiddy, the Y6, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of very hit and miss. Some things did impress me a little bit as far as things running, like PSP and Dreamcast. So that was interesting. The build is a lot cleaner than most, I think, as far as looking at duplicates and stuff like that. 10,000 games on here. You know, you could do worse. You could do better. I say you could do better by building it yourself, downloading a build for your PC or Raspberry Pi or Android box. You're saving yourself some money. But if you don't want to do any of that, hey, these things are options. And no matter what I say, people will be interested. This one, yeah, it's better than most that I've tested as far as the overall quality. But there's still issues there. So keep that in mind. Appreciate you guys watching. Bye.